I'm Andre Ferraro, and I'm 10, and I'm from Albany, Michigan.
Okay, Andre, let's take a peek at your serve right now. I'm not sure if the reason why you abbreviate, if you're doing this on purpose to abbreviate your motion, or if, the reason why, what I mean by abbreviating, you kind of, like Roger, not swinging your racket back and out. If you have trouble, I always believed having more of a free arm, letting the racket go. I mean, Roddick obviously comes up a little quicker, but not sure why you do it, but maybe you have a good reason why you're doing it. So, I mean, there's so many different ways to get the racket up into the trophy position. What I'm not crazy about right there is that you the arm is collapsed a little too soon right here. There's not that much room right there between your racket and your hand and your shoulder. And what I mean by that is I really believe in a little wider, trophy position right there. Just give it a little more room between the racket and your body. Your arm being bent into trophy, and get a little more distance. I think you collapse. So the closer you are to your body, you're really not going to be able to generate a lot of racket head speed. It'll be a lot easier to do that position right there. But what I would like to see is maybe your arm. If your elbow is down, it's no big deal, because you'll get your elbow up at the right time later, which I saw that you did after analyzing it a few times. But I'd like to see your arm like just being like, this would be your forearm right here. Okay, just up a little higher and more out here. Okay, instead of just collapsed in your racket. I like to see, instead of the racket be down this way, I like the racket to be out a little bit more. I hope that makes sense. Now, good power position right there. Since you do that well right there, great power position. Now the elbow comes up, and now that's awesome right there. So if you see with Roger, kind of the same thing right there. So you see the elbow, and actually you have a very steep power position, which is very, very good. And then you're hitting up on the ball as well. I mean, the serve motion, I mean, I like it. What I like is when you hit the ball, you're still going up. Very good pronation right there, the wrist, and going forward. So you do a lot of great things. I mean, my job right here, I don't know you, and it's just try to see the little things that we could make better. See, I'm not crazy about how you kind of like lifting. See how your elbow right here is kind of going, okay, let me lift this racket up. And I liked it to be, if it was up to me, I'd rather see it a little smoother. I can show you how a slew of guys from David Nalbandian, the racket kind of gets back there. But you see, it's not a really big backswing, but I like how it kind of flows, and then they get into that trophy position like this. Versus yours, I think it's a little crunched in. It's not much, okay, but it's not going to take much. I like to see that arm maybe a little more out this way, and the racket out that way. Okay, that's what I would like to see if I was coaching you. Let me show you a couple more. This is Marty Fish. Actually, I used to teach him when he was a kid. We're from the same town. That's why you can see how this is called a lag, meaning the ball toss goes up while the racket lags behind. Everybody's a little different as far as, but when they get the racket, everybody gets to that same spot right there. And then, I mean, look at the only thing that you can do is I'm going to show you the reverse K. If you want to put a little more legs into your serve. let me see who I got there to show you. Let's go. Well, Albanian has it. Sorry about that. What I mean by the reverse K is when you throw your hips into the serve a little bit more. So this would be the letter K right here, like a reverse K. And then from that point, you can really throw your shoulders. You kind of almost, what you're doing right there, you go on just really kind of up and down instead of using your body. So you'll see a lot of players use that. Let's go Ernest Gublis, one of the most talented guys, same thing. You can see how the body is in that reverse K right there, using the legs and kind of going this way. So then you can really spring forward to the ball. Marty does it too, but it's just different way, different side to see it. Roger definitely does it, but I'll show you. Juan Martin Del Potro is coming back into the game right there. That little move right there with the legs and then the body. So maybe if you can get yourself more like this, let me erase all that right here. You know, kind of kicking your left hip out while your legs stay back like this. So then you can, it's like a bow and arrow, then you can shoot out forward into the serve. But let's see what other, here we go. There's going to see the K from Roger right there when he's going to lean back this way right there. He's not as severe as most guys are, but he still does it. Redesco doesn't really do it. This is the old Nadal serve. We don't want to look at that. He used to be Murray has the K. Everybody kind of does right here. It's just kind of just where the body is kind of like this. Some of them are more extreme than others. And then hold on, I got a couple more from the side. That would Davydenko, not a very exciting player, but he can really pack a punch for a skinny little guy. I call him the accountant because he looks like an accountant. But you see that body language right there? Now watch the racket from that position right there. See, this is where I really like you. See, you kind of shortens it up right there. But this is where I like you that you can adapt a little bit. This right here, and not just too. I feel like things are look scrunched in. What I mean by that is here. See, there's not much room right here. It's all kind of scrunched in. I like to see just a little more space right there. All right. A couple of things here. One, I think your grip might be a little too extreme, moving a little too far over. Number two, your arm is a little straight, and number three, you're hanging onto the racket a little too long with the left hand. So let me see. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. Let's see. I think that when you make your grip change, right, that you really close the racket face. I know you feel like you're going to have a little stronger grip right there. Okay, it's going to feel stronger when you're hitting the ball, but you're going to have a tough time if you get a funky bounce, a low ball bouncing. You may have to adjust at the last second. You got to go more, just a cleaner, an Eastern backhand grip right there. So I like the preparation, but this is where your arm, I think, just gets a little too straight all the way through. You're going to have a tough time getting a lot of racket head speed by keeping your arm straight. This is what I call the box, and you can see that Roger, if I can draw like a box right here, and the arm is kind of bent, and I really like you to do that. You kind of leave that, you're kind of in it almost right here, but it just leaves too soon. You go like straight back there behind you, and I really would like you to keep the racket into that box just a little bit longer. All right, now you have a pretty good power position. What I mean by the power position is exactly where your racket is right there. See, the racket is actually pointing back at that, like Roger, at that back fence right there. So this is actually pretty good. But you see your arm, I know we have that double, it's not a clear picture. You have that, but your arm is fairly straight. And if you look at Roger right there, it's kind of bent right there. And that you need to have that elbow bent a little bit. You don't want to lead with the elbow, but you want to have your elbow just a little bit more bent if you possibly can. I'm not crazy that the arm is very, very straight right there. It's going to be, you have to kind of release it almost like the motion of throwing a frisbee, kind of. I mean, it's tough for me to show you right now as I'm swinging my arm, but you got to try to keep your arm a little more bent right there, okay? And now the last thing to do is most players, okay, they hang on to the left hand. Most players let go way too early. You might have just hung on a little too long. You don't want to go past your left hip right there. So you see how Roger is going to let go right about there and then release the racket, okay? I like the follow through, but I feel like because your arm is so straight, so you end up kind of pushing the ball over, okay, instead of rolling and brushing it. So let me see if I can get you through a bunch of players hitting some backhands, and maybe we can. This is Fernando Gonzalez right there. It's just not the best. I think I don't have not the best angle, but there's the racket. There's that box right there, and then there's a good power position. Now the arm is straight. See, the arm is straight right there, and that's fine. But watch that little release again. Just like we've been talking about on your forehand, like letting their hand release a little bit. I feel like it is too much of a pushing through because the grip is definitely too far over. You can definitely have to make a grip adjustment. It's gonna feel like crap at first, but you're gonna have to do it. This is actually one of my assistants, Raz Ely. He has pretty big backswing. You don't have to do that right there, but I want to show you that release at the end of the racket, and way back in the power position. Look at the left hand; it kind of hangs on right there. So, but you see the racket goes up, and see how his arm is bent right there, bent, and then releases right there. The reason why I use him a lot because I was able at my club in Florida to be able to tape him. He's a very good player from Romania, and then just really great looking shot. Let me see if I can get you to a couple more from different angles. This is Stan Wawrinka, another beautiful. You see how the arm is bent right here. Racket goes back, and then it extends out at the end. And watch when the left hand lets go. He lets go pretty much, just right before the left hand goes by the left hip right there. So that's what you want to be. Try as much as you can. I guess gave enough from the best angle. And you see that the racket is over. I mean, and then a good release at the end. See, it's just a brush right there, brushing it, and I feel like yours is too much, kind of a punch and a drive right there. But I think a lot of it has to do with your grip. This is Kohlschreiber's got a beautiful backhand. This is a good angle for the lesson right there. See the arm? When he gets back there, the arm is it's kind of bent right there. That's what I'm going to try to get you to do. Let's release that right there. And the position just like you. I mean, your power position, see, since your arm is very, very straight, see how far away you are from your body? And to me, I think the furthest away your arm swings from the body, the less power you have. So let's try to get you in just a little closer. Now watch a nice release. Let's see if I can drop him, I think. No, that's just where I had him in frame. I taped him in Toronto, Canada. Right there, just brushing the ball and releasing. It's more of a drop and release right there. And I feel like yours is a little too much of a push. All right, but a lot has to do with your arm being straight and your grip. And I think the grip is affecting the arm. The grip moving so far over, you almost have to keep your arm straight to open up the face of the racket at contact. All right, so go to my video stroke library on the website. Hello, Christian and Andre. Let's start off with your forehand analysis first. And Andre, you're a pretty good player. I like a lot of the things that you do. And so let's compare you to some of the top professionals. And I call usually my analysis I compare the common threads of the game, which I mean by that is what certain things that every single player must do in order to really hit the ball correctly. So I try to take the top guys in the world and show you the things that you have to do and the things that they all do that nobody is good enough not to do. So I'm going to start you off compare you to Robin Sorling right there. Now, I'm sorry that the video that I got from you guys is a little blurry because this system handles slow motion video, so sometimes it looks like you have just two frames that are shown at once, but we'll do the best we can what we've got. I like, one thing that I really like that you do is hold on to your racket with your non-hitting hand right here to create a natural shoulder turn. and that's what most of the great players do, as you can see right there. And it'd be even better if you could let that left hand ride even longer on the racket. A lot of the pros create that big upper shoulder turn, and that to me is you'll see everybody do it. You'll see how the left hand is going to stay on the racket a little bit longer. So you see they're really turning the entire upper body with the left hand on the racket. And the one that actually does it the best, if you give me 1 second right there, of so many different models I can show you, it's really Andy Roddick. And he has pretty much one of the the biggest forehands in the game of tennis. And if I could find him, it'd be great right now, Andre. Sorry about the little delay, but all right, let's go to another guy. Does a huge game. Is Ernest Guplas right there. So they all kind of do this. They all keep their left hand on the racket as long as they possibly can, and that'd be a great thing. I'm glad that you're doing it, and just keep doing it, but also really let it ride even longer. Let's watch how Hewitt right there does it. See how long the left hand stays on the racket. So the upper body is turned, the left hand is on the racket, and that really will help you create a lot of torque. And there's Andy Murray right there. He does it too. So everybody does this move right there. So the longer you can keep the left hand on the racket, the better. And so I was still trying to look for some of Andy Roddick, but because the main man here, and you'll see how long he stays turned like that with the left hand on the racket. So he was really addressing the ball, and you got to be careful that you don't open up a little too soon right there. Okay, so try to really keep that left hand across your body, and that would be awesome. You kind of do it, just make sure that you don't get sloppy doing it. Now, when we get to your backswing, great weight transfer. I like how you're just really bending your legs ready to explode. A lot of the pros use what I call they get the racket in the slot, and what I mean by that is the racket has a tendency of coming back in, tucked into the elbow like you do right here, but the face of the racket is a little more closed. And you'll see that a lot of pros get the racket in the slot with the racket face. They attack the ball with the racket a little more closed. You're attacking the ball. See, I can almost see the face of your racket right here, where these guys, it's a little tilted. The hand is more parallel to the ground right there. This will help you get a little more topspin because you have a grip just like they do. It will help you just roll the ball a little bit more. Sometimes you may get I don't know if right there you were trying to flatten out the ball. Maybe that's what you were trying to do, but all your forehands pretty much looked kind of the same right there. So what I try to get my students to do is to get the racket in the slot. See how Gublis does it right here. You can see how the racket comes in, the elbow tucks in, and the racket face is closed right there. So it's going to allow a really good roll like this right there. And I think this is affecting you a little bit. When you hit the ball, you end up kind of once again, I apologize for the double vision there. You end up it looks like sometimes you're kind of pushing and then releasing. And what I want you to do right there is to roll the ball. Soderling is a better example right there. So the racket comes in, the elbow face closed, and watch that roll right there. See this little move right there? That's what I like you to do a little bit more on your forehand. So you really, topspin controls the ball, Andre, okay? You want to be able to hit some topspin. Not just all top. I mean, you have to go through it. But I think that you just maybe going through it a little more. You got to increase. I don't know if you miss a lot of balls long or not. But if you do, you got to learn to let your hand just release a little bit more. I think you're doing it, but not enough. If I was your coach, I say, you know what, let's work on rolling that hand right there. And I'll show you a few more pros right now as we're doing it. This Cilic, a few from the side right there. Watch the hand. See what I'm talking about right there? Watch that little roll right there. Just kind of, these guys just warming up, practicing just like you're doing it. But that's what I really like to see you do a little bit more. This is Kuznetsova right here. Even though she's a girl, she hits it big, but it's a good example. But see how the racket gets in that slot right there. See how the racket face is kind of closed right here. And then watch that roll right there. See that little bit of a roll right there, controlling the ball, really caressing the ball. Spin controls the ball. You're going to learn that you can't, pretty much everything is controlled with spin. Let's see, get you to a couple other guys after sleep. Let's go to Novak right here. So I guess some better footage of Novak coming up on my website soon, but you can see right here what I'm talking about. Don't watch the jumping. See the racket in the slot right here? See that little move right there? That's something that maybe you'll develop. I call that the forehand lag a little bit. It's where the head of the racket starts here, and then the racket lags behind, and the face closes. Okay, this is the move right here that I really would like you to try to incorporate into your game right there. Okay, it's called the forehand. It's the slot and also the forehand lag. Let me go back to, there's Usni hitting it, warming up in Miami when I was there. He has a big backswing. I'm not saying take a big backswing. Everybody does things a little differently. But watch that little roll. Watch the lag right there where the racket ends up kind of closing and then opening up. The racket points, the lag is where the racket points outward and then inward. Right there. And I'd like to get to that's learning to use your wrist but in a good way, not in a bad way. Okay, let's finish up with a couple more examples. Hopefully you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I can't believe I can't find the erotic. That was one of my, here we go. Burditch. Good. See the racket face kind of close right there. Kind of getting the racket face closed, and then that little lag where the racket head is pointing this way right now, and then it's going to go out that way. Right there. See that little move right there? The racket face is closed, the hand lags, and now watch the roll. Boom. Okay? So I think you have a great forehand right there, but we got to get you to relax a little bit more. Okay? But I like the big follow through at the end. So that's, if I was your coach, that's what the things I would focus on. But all in all, it's pretty good. Just trying to create the slot and a little bit of a lag, okay, and a little bit of a brush right there.